line.
Okay, I'm recording, everyone. So we decide that we're going to speak about the Hagadah. We're going to explain the Hagadah. But first thing, we have to understand that it's tomorrow night is Pesach. It's Leila Seder. Why is it called Leila Seder? Did anyone ask that question? Why do we call it Leila Seder? Anyone have any idea? Hello, Sean. Thank you for joining us. So I'll help. It's called Leila Seder for the simple reason, because if you look what we call it, we have a special order on that night. And we all know that we have an order, Kadesh, Ohat, Karpas, Yehatz, Megid, Rahza, and etc. So there is a special order on that night. And the main reason that we call it Leila Seder because there is a special order for that night. Now, tomorrow night, we're all going to sit and we're going to read the Hagadah and we're going to tell the story of the Exodus of Mitzrayim. We have to understand that that's a positive command from the Torah. It's not rabbinical. It's a positive command from the Torah that we obligated to tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt. Where is the source for it? The source for it comes from the book of Shemot in Parashat Bo, in chapter 13, verse 8. The Torah tells us, "Vehegadeta lebincha bayom hahu le'emor." It means that you have an obligation to tell the story of the Exodus on Pesach. Now, we have to understand, why is it so important to tell the story of the Exodus of leaving Egypt? So if we look at it in the pshat of the Dvarim, it's, you can say that we obligate to tell the miracle, all the beautiful thing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu done with Bnei Israel when they left Egypt. But we also obligate to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to glorify all the miracle that he done for us. So that's one of the main reasons that we are obligated to tell the story of the Exodus of Egypt. Another idea that we are obligated to tell the story of the Exodus, that our children and our grandchildren will remember what happened to the Jewish people in Egypt when they was in slavery, and they must never forget. That's on the pshat of the Dvarim. But now we're going to go a bit deeper to understand that there is a secret what's happening tomorrow night. And it's go like this. Number one, we have to understand that Hazal explained to us that when a person tells the story of the Exodus, tomorrow, when you sit around your table with your family or with your partner, whoever is it, and you're sitting and you're reading the Hagadah, you have to understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu listening to us. Not only that he listened to us, he watch us. And he tell the angel in heaven, listen, now I want peace. Because usually the angel in heaven, they are the one that's singing to you. Tomorrow night, he tell all the angel, pass up. Pass up, everyone. All the angel quiet. Now I'm listening to my kids that praising me, that glorifying me. And why is that? That it's still that here we waking up HaKadosh Baruch Hu and we telling him, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we never given up. Although that our fathers was in Egypt in 400 years, they never forget you and you redeem them. We also telling your story because we waiting for your final redemption, that you're going to redeem us, please God, as soon as possible. So that means that when we telling the story of the Exodus, Rabotai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu listening to us. And if we beg him properly and we say it properly tomorrow night, there is a good chance that we're going to be redeemed. The Ran was Rabbeinu Nissim. Rabbeinu Nissim ben Reuven. He born in a city of Gorondi in Spain. He born 705 years ago. He born in the city of Barcelona in Spain. And he explained, when a person sit and read the Hagadah, Rabbota and Pesach, and he telling the story to his kids, to his wife, whoever there is with home with him, the heaven are open. That means whatever you ask, whatever you say, there is a good chance that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gonna fulfill your wishes. The same, like what's happened on that night when HaKadosh Baruch Hu redeemed the Jewish people. That means tomorrow night, the 15th of Nisan, it's a special night. The Mefarshim say, and the gate of heaven are open. And if we gonna ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu and telling him and praise him and glorify him for all what he done for us, there's a good chance that we're gonna be redeemed. That was the introduction for the Haggadah. Why are we obligated to speak, to talk about the Exodus? And the Haggadah start like that. The Haggadah, if you look carefully, I don't know, all of you have Haggadot? Okay, good. Shoni, you have Haggadah? Good. So the Haggadah start like that. The Haggadah start with Halachmania. Halachmania, if you look carefully, it's all in Aramaic. The language is Aramaic. And it says like this. Halachmania. De'achlu abatania be'ar'a de Mitzrayim. כל דכפין יתה ויכול, כל דצריך יתה ויפסח. השתהך לשנה הבאה בהרעה דישראל. השתהך עבדי לשנה הבאה בהרעה דישראל בני חורים. Anyone want to read it in English? So the commentary, and then I will explain. No, Shimi Bechavod.
Bechavod, Rov. Anyone else want to read it?
You'll start then later on. By the way, we're going to dedicate the shiur of Fuat, Reuven ben Alia, Beramah Hebara v'Sisa Gizav, El Narefanala, El Narefanala. Bechavod.
We changed the name today to Chaim Reuven.
You changed the name?
Yeah, today. At the Sanitarium
You didn't
Gardens.
tell me.
Actually. Sorry, it was
What's
in the group.
name?
Chaim Reuven ben Aliyah.
Chaim ben Aliyah. No. Please God, refuah shlema beramah hebarav shisa gidam. Bechavod.
Amen. Okay. Any chametz that is man, which I did not see. Wait, I'm reading the wrong thing. Sorry, hold on a sec. Sorry, right?
You're talking about b'dikat starting the Haggadah.
This mitzvah is the poor man's bread that our fathers ate in Egypt. Whoever is hungry, come and eat with us. Whoever is poor, come join us and celebrate Pesach. This year we are here. Next year we may be in the land of Israel. This year we are not free. Next year we may be free.
Okay, here we see something very, very interesting. That the Haggadah starts in Aramaic language, and just to give you a history about the Haggadah been written during the time of Chachmei Talmud. Chachmei Talmud is the people, when I say people, it's the sages that wrote for us the Talmud. That means that's around 2,500 years ago, the Haggadah been written. And the main reason that they started in Aramaic, as you all know, the Talmud also been written in Aramaic. That means that the common language in that time was Aramaic. And here we asking the children, we asking the people that participate in a Seder, that they can understand what are we talking. So the main reason that the Hagadah starts in Aramaic is to draw those people that sitting with us in a Seder to participate with reading of the Hagadah. That's one idea. The other idea is, why do we start Dafka?
Rav, why is it called poor man's bread?
Because it's a poor man's bread, yes. So what
But
is that have to do with Arabic?
if you buy matzah shmura, handmade, it's not so cheap.
Say again, I missed you for a second, sorry.
I'm saying that it's poor man's bread. We call it poor man's bread. So surely I'm saying the matzah shmura that's handmade is not so cheap. It's quite expensive, actually.
Today it's very expensive.
Yeah,
It's very expensive. In the olden days, it used to be very, very cheap. But I will explain. So here, if you look, and Chazal explaining to us in the Mishnah in the Mishnah in Masechet Pesachim in chapter 10. There they explain, first of all, Chazal giving us the introduction. When is the Hagadah been written? As I mentioned, that was during the time that the sages, okay, when they wrote the Talmud, that's around 2,500 years ago, plus minus. But we have to understand that the sages come and speak in that language because we explained that everyone was speaking the language. Another commentary is that if there is a poor person that have nowhere to do the Seder, we are asking him, please come and join us. Where do we see that? It's like this. Kol dechfin yete v'yechol. Kol detzrich yete v'yifsach. What it means, kol dechfin yete v'yechol? Whoever wants can come and join us for the Seder. Kol detzrich yete v'yifsach. Everyone that needs, please come join us for the Pesach. That you can join us in the Seder. So now, let's summarize what we say. That the Hagadah started in Aramaic, number one, that the member of the house will understand what are we talking about. Because that was the common language. That to make everyone excited to read the Hagadah. Number two, it's for those people that have nowhere to stay, nowhere to eat. We're starting the Hagadah in a language that they can understand, that they can join us and come and join us to the Seder. You follow? I'm going to give now time for question before I continue. Anyone for continue? Yep. Any question?
No, if the Hagadah was written 2000,
and rebooted.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
So Hagadah was written 2,500 years ago. How come Rebbe Akiva and all those people are in the Hagadah?
That's it. It was during the time of Hillel HaZaken. Yes, Gavin, exactly. Shirkoah, yes. It was during that time. Okay, let's continue. No more question? I can continue? Okay. Let's go to the next thing, Hagadah. And look what it says. And that's the most important thing. It's we're asking Manishtana. Manishtana have 4 questions. And the main idea is on Manishtana that we all singing Manishtana Laila Ze, Mikol Halelot, that why is that night is so different from all other nights? And I would like to ask you something. Why Dafka on Pesach we ask that question? On Pesach we're staying at home. The only difference that we eat matzah. But on Sukkot, we leave the house, we go outside to the sukkah, we leave all our luxury, and we're actually leaving everything. As a matter of fact, Hazal asking, maybe you should ask Manishtana on Sukkot, not on Pesach. No, Rabotai, anyone can explain, help me here a little bit?
Oh. No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Say again. No one ever
I think, Rov.
Okay, so,
I think, Rov. Maybe the question is of Manishtana, is that everything is the same. I mean, we're sitting down, we're eating, but everything's actually different. That's the whole idea. The whole idea is we're supposed to feel like a Ben Chorin.
That's right.
And before Pesach, we don't have that freedom. So we actually reenacting what happened. So we never ever sat down like that. If we're reenacting Yetziat Mitzrayim, we never had that freedom. We never had that sitting down.
But when you sit, for example, on Shavuot, when you sit on Sukkot, you sit very free. You maybe don't lean to your left, but other than that, to go to the sukkah, that's when you have to ask, why am I going to the sukkah? Ma nishtana?
Because then we've already experienced Geula. We've already experienced Geula. We've already experienced Geula.
So you're almost there, So Hazal tell us, if you look carefully, what does it say in Sefer Shemot? Sefer Shemot in Parashat Vayera in chapter 6, verses 6 and 7, there is four wording that represent the Exodus, that's speaking about redemption. And what they are, Vehotzeti, Vehetzalti, that means, Hotzeti, I took you out of Egypt, Hetzalti, I saved you from the Egyptian, Vega'alti, that means, I redeem you, Velakahti, and I took you as a nation. So Hazal said that the four questions that we have in Manishtana, it's about those four words that representing what's happened to the Jewish people during the Exodus. That means that number one, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took us out of Egypt, first of all. Then he saved us. Where did he save us? On a sea of weeds. You remember, when we got to Yam Suf, and in front of them was the sea, Hazal tell us in the Midrash that each wave was 50 meters high. Behind them, the Egyptian with the chariots trying to kill them. So that means that I saved you. Ga'alti, I redeem you from the Egyptian, I redeem you. And then I took you to a nation. What does it mean I took you to a nation? 50 days later, you receive the Torah and you become my own nation. When you say Naaseh v'nishma.
Rav, can I ask a question? It's me. It's me.
Yeah.
Where does Chazal get the concept that the waves were 50 meters high?
Say again, where?
Where did Chazal get the notion?
Okay, it's in the Midrash. The Midrash tell us why Bnei Israel didn't jump into the sea, why they were so afraid. What, to go to the sea? It wasn't a problem. If you look at the Sea of Weeds, I don't know if you've ever been in Yam Suf. You know, when you go to Sea of Yam Suf, it's not like the ocean. You have to understand. Yam Suf is a very, 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 very quiet sea. It's like a swimming pool. You hardly have wave, generally. But what scared the Jewish people when they saw those waves, because those waves was like a tsunami. That's what Bnei Israel was afraid. They say, what, you took us to the desert? The multi-nation, the Erev Rav said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what, you took us to the desert to kill us in a desert? You remember? And Kriyat Yam Suf, they also complained. You understand? But there it was a miracle because the sea, the angel of the sea wanted to drown them. Why did he want to drown them? Because he said, if I'm going to drown the Egyptian on the sea because you're saying that the idol worshippers, Bnei Israel also was idol worshippers. And that's what scared the Jewish people when they saw those waves. You follow?
Correct, okay.
Okay, let's continue. Why are we asking Manishtana? The Zohar explained, like we explain later, what the Ran said, Rabbeinu Nissim, that the gate of heaven opening on the 15th of Nisan. Tomorrow night, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, hush, all the angel. I don't want to hear you singing. Tonight, my children singing and praising to me. Say HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That means what all the year around, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't hush the entire angel in Marom, in heaven. That night he hushed them. And when we say, Ma nishtana layla hazeh, why is that night different from all the nights? We are trying to wake up HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to tell him, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, remember that night was different from all other nights during the year. Why? Because you redeemed us on the 15th of Nisan. We're trying to wake up HaKadosh Baruch Hu to redeem us. Said the Zohar HaKadosh, asking everyone, please, praise me. Give me a reason to redeem you. And that's why we ask Dafka in the 15th of Nisan, and we're saying, Ma nishtana layla hazeh. Okay, so if we understand that, if you don't mind, we'll move a bit forward. Let's go to what it says, Maaseh berabbi Eliezer verabbi Yoshua verabbi Elazar ben Azariah verabbi Akiva verabbi Tarfon. Everyone can see it? I'm going to give just few chances for people just to look at it and to see if you're all there in Hagadah. Okay, are we there? Good. So it starts like this.
Sorry, Rob. Sorry, Rod.
Yes.
Second. Someone's making a noise. Not everyone is muted.
Okay, guys, can you mute yourself? Because these people are complaining. If you don't mind, just press on a mute and try not to speak, so it disturbs some people. Shimi, there is any way I can mute everyone?
Rov, yeah, if you click on participants, or participants,
yes.
then each one,
Okay,
if you see their
press on it,
microphone, you can mute each of their microphones. So if you tap on their microphone and mute them, Stephen K, Mark Schenker, yeah, needs to be muted.
Let me try.
Yeah.
Let
It's
me see if
just Stephen K and Mark Schenker, I think, that need to be muted.
Okay, I'm going to look now.
Yeah, if you tap on the microphone.
I'm trying. I'm typing on it. It doesn't want to do that.
Mark Schenker, I think, is the only one with he could just mute
Mark
himself.
Schenker's one. Mark, you know how to mute yourself?
Can you hear me, Rov? Can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you. I can hear you.
Because I'm not visibly connected to you, and I have no microphone to mute.
If you look at a little
wait. So why are you not connected to me? Wait, it's not fair. Why are you not connected?
You can't see me. You can't see me. I can see you.
Yeah, you have to open your video. If you click on the little video, Rov, then it'll show his video, and then you mute the little microphone. It'll mute him.
Little video. Where's the little video?
You see next to the name, you see a little microphone and then a little video recorder.
Let me see, Mark. I don't have that. Mark video, yes. Wait. Mark. I'm trying.
Yeah. If you look under all participants, then it'll show a little microphone and a little video camera.
Okay, I tell you what. Okay, fine. I can mute everyone. I can mute all. Everyone is mute except me. Am I right? Okay, good. So now let's go back. So let's continue. Okay, so we're going now to the next part of the Hagadah, Maaseh berabbi Eliezer verabbi Yoshua ורבי אלעזר בן עזריה ורבי עקיבא ורבי טרפון שהיו מסובים בבני ברק. והיו מספרים ביציאת מצרים כל אותו הלילה, עד שבאו תלמידיהם ואמרו להם, רבותיי, הגיע הזמן של שחרית. Okay, so who didn't read for us? Sean, would you like to read for us? Just unmute yourself and read. You don't want to read. Adrian, you want to read? Bechavod, Adrian. No one want to read. What's wrong with you? Are you shy, guys? Tomorrow night you have to read. Who's else
I'll just
there?
let me know if I must take my job back.
Yeah, take your job. It's look like everyone shy.
Yeah.
Bechavod.
Okay. Once 5 great rabbis were having a Seder together. Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Akiva, and Rabbi Tarfon. They were so involved in telling the story of leaving Egypt that they lost track of the time. They were still talking about it when morning arrived, and their students came in and told them that it is time to say morning Shema.
Okay.
Rabbi Levy,
The question that who's asking?
Me, serious. How's Rabbi Levy? Yeah.
Hello.
Stephen,
okay,
are you,
let's continue. So it says here something very interesting. Listen what it says. Maaseh berabbi Eliezer verabbi Yeshua verabbi Elazar ben Azariah verabbi Akiva verabbi Tarfon. Here the Hagadah tells us about 5 sages, 5 very important sages. Why she have to tell me, number 1, about the sages? Number 2, she mentioned the city of Bnei Brak. What difference it make to us that read the Hagadah where the sages was? What? I have to know that there was in Bnei Brak. By the way, the Bnei Brak that they're talking here, it's not necessarily the Bnei Brak of today. Just to make just to make a comment, just to understand that. So Hazal explained that here we're learning halacha, very important halacha. What is the halacha that we're learning? That we're learning here that Hazal tell us that Rabbi Akiva was the rabbi of the city of Bnei Brak. We know that. It's come to teach us halacha. It's come to teach us that who was with Rabbi Akiva? His sages, his teachers, his rabbis. And there is halacha that when the student is next to his rabbi, he's not allowed to lean to the left and to drink or to eat the matzah like we're doing. So it's come to teach us halacha. Nachon, that if you're sitting next to your sages, you're not allowed to lean to your left and to eat and to drink. But because it was the city that Rabbi Akiva was the rabbi there, he was the chief rabbi of that city, because of that, Hazal come and tell us the city, number 1, that was the city of Bnei Brak. Number 2, to tell us that his teacher that was with him, and also the participant in the Leila Seder with him, they come to visit him, and he can lean. That means, if you're the chief rabbi of the city and your rabbi come to visit you, you can lean to your left, and you can eat, and you can drink. Yes, Shimon, Bechavod, ask.
Rov, I think it's quite a famous question. Maybe people have heard it before. But the question is, why did they need the students to come and remind them that it came the time for Kriyat Shema? Surely they know that it's Kriyat Shema.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Thank you.
No, Bechavod.
I'll wait for you.
To tell us?
I don't know. I'll wait for
Sorry?
you to give the answer. I'll wait for you to give the answer, Rov.
Obviously, that in the Pshat Dvarim, they were so busy, like they didn't know. They knew when it's Kriyat Shema or Shaharit. They knew that it's getting. But if you look, שהיו מסובים בבני ברק, והיו מספרים ביציאת מצרים כל אותו הלילה. They was talking about the Exodus all of that night. What was happening here? And that's the next question that I wanted to ask. What, they didn't know? They knew exactly what's happening. The Mefarshim explain, listen, Rabotai, I'm going back to what I say, what the Zohar say. Our sages knew that the Mashiach can come tomorrow night. Our sages knew that the Mashiach can come on Pesach. by that we talking and we say Pesach, it's a talking mouth, we can bring the Mashiach. Praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu, glorified him, talk about his miracle, wake up the heaven and remind them the same like he saved our fathers in Egypt, maybe he can redeem us now. And that was the idea, exactly, Shachua, Shimon. That means it's not that they forgot. They wanted to bring the Mashiach. And that's why they spoke all night.
So, Rov,
yes.
so the question then goes, if they said and they learned the entire night and they were on such a high level that they needed to be reminded that it's time for Kriyat Shema, why did, oh, you like my question, why did Rabbi Akiva have such a terrible death?
Okay, you asking a different question. Rabbi Akiva was about the 10 sages, the 10 people that been killed, and that was, Hazal explained, and it's brought Ari HaKadosh bringing it, and the Rama Mipano, Rabbi Menachem Azariah Mipano, and it's Sefer HaGilgulim, the Reincarnation, the book of Reincarnation. There they explain that was 10 people have to die for the selling of Yosef HaTzadik. Rabbi Akiva, that his death was the worst, that they brushed his skin of his body with a metal brush, that means that the skin is flesh, they brushed his flesh. That's what you're referring to, am I right?
Correct.
Why is that? Because if you look, who sold Yosef HaTzadik? Only
His
9 brothers.
His brothers.
9.
Yes.
9.
Not Benjamin.
Not Binyamin, obviously not Yosef. Reuven wasn't there. Reuven gone to serve his father. So who was number 10? In Sefer HaGilgulim they explain, and Hazal explain, and the Zohar explain, many of the sages touch that question that you're asking, that Rabbi Akiva was the number 10. Number 10 was HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So he come to take that punishment on him.
I can't hear a word you say.
Who's asking?
Sorry, Rob, I didn't hear the end of the answer. There's somebody else was talking over.
Okay, I will repeat. So we say that it was only 9. Who was the number 10? HaKadosh Baruch Hu joined with the 10 brother because they took an oath. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, you'll have to do atonement for that sales, that you sold your brother as a slave. Who was number 10? Equivalent? Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva was equivalent to number 10 because all the oral Torah that we have today, it's an merit of Rabbi Akiva. You remember that one of the main things that we're doing in the Omer, we're mourning for the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva. Why? Because they got killed. And then nothing left in the world. The world was empty from Torah until Rabbi Akiva gone to the south, and he took 5 other people and he given them a rabbinical authority, and they started all the Torah Shebe'al Peh.
But he wasn't born. He wasn't born at the time when Yosef HaTzadik was sold to
Sure. But that's what I say, it's a reincarnation. You like hocus pocus. He was the reincarnation.
Of who?
He was equivalent to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Shekhinah Kedosha, the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
You understand what level was Rabbi Akiva?
So that's why he got to the 50th level, one level above Moshe Rabbeinu.
No, Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't a 50th level. No one was higher than Moshe Rabbeinu. Why? A matter of fact, Moshe Rabbeinu said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu when he was in heaven, you're touching now something else. If you have such a student like Rabbi Akiva, maybe he should give the Torah. He should come down and he should give the Torah instead of me. HaKadosh Baruch Hu say, I chose you. והאיש משה ענב מאוד. And Moshe was the humblest man that ever been created. Any question?
And then is Moshe Esteban Moshe, Rama? Then is Esteban Moshe.
Okay, yes, Sean.
Esteban Moshe, Rama, Levy? Inonismas.
Yeah, you say that. Okay, thank you. Yes,
Even just mute yourself, please. I'd like to just ask a question, thanks.
Say again.
All right, Rav, I just want to ask something. It's not about evidence or proof, but how do we know that this was the reincarnation?
You say how we know that was the
How do we know that this was how do we know that this was the actual reincarnation?
Okay. So there is, first of all, we have to understand that there is a Kabbalistic book that number one that wrote by the Rama Mipano, number two written by Ari Kadosh, and there's few other Kabbalistic rabbi, mystical rabbi, that touching that subject of reincarnation. And we all know that those rabbis reach to a very high level, that they know who's reincarnate as who. For example, when Ari Kadosh, I'll tell you a funny story. Ari Kadosh lived in the same time of the Maran, Abet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo, and they live in Sfat together. And one day on Shabbos, there was davening Amida. And Ari Kadosh suddenly gone to Maran Abet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo, that wrote the Shulchan Aruch, and said to him, I see that you very bother. You can't daven the Amida properly, I see. You battle. He said, yes. He said, I know what's worrying you. You worried about the keys, because on that Shabbos, it was Shabbat Hatan of the daughter of the Maran Abet Yosef. So what's happened? He couldn't think where he left the key, where is the cholent, because they used to close it, so the goyim couldn't come and mix the pot and give unkosher. So he tells them, he whispers in his ears, the keys that you're thinking about, it's in that place. The Maran Shulchan Aruch finished the Amida, and he tells that story. So from here we see that they have a Holy Spirit. The Kabbalistic Rebbe on that level, like Ari Kadosh, the Rama Mipano, have a special Giluim. Giluim is a special thing, energy that they get from heaven, special forces that the Kadosh Baruch Hu influence on them so they can tell. For that case, Hazal asked, and that's the question. We're talking about, in Hagadah we'll speak about Avraham Avinu and we'll speak about Terach. Terach was the father of Avraham Avinu. The Rama Mipano, funny enough, and the Ari Kadosh asked, who was the reincarnation of Terach? Eov. Both say Eov. Why Dafka Eov? Because we see that he has to do atonement for all of his sin. What was his sin? Idol worshipping. What happened to Eov? Eov was a very rich man, have a lot of kids. He lost all of his kids. He lost all of his money. And not only that, he got boils, the leprosy of boil. After that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu cured. He have again the same amount of kids, and he become rich again. So they both explain, why did he have to suffer so much? Because he used to be an idol worshiper. You understand? That's where we understand, and that's how the Kabbalistic rabbi, the mystical rabbi, explained to us who's what. For example, there is certain sins that the human being will do, and he will get as a reincarnation. Hazal explained to us. For example, people that murder. Let's take a murderer. What is he going to reincarnate? Shopech dam adam ba'adam. Chazal tell us that the person that murders something and he split his blood, the Kabbalistic rabbi tell us that he's going to turn, his reincarnation he's going to turn like water, all the time flowing. He will never stop. He will never have a peaceful, never have menuha. And etc. There's many more. For example, Chazal explained to us that people that commit the negative command of that Chazal tell us that male and men not allowed to be together, that's called homosexuality, that if people do that, they're going to get reincarnated as rabbit and bunnies. Bunnies and rabbits, there is no female or a male. 1 minute he can be a male, the next second he can be a female. You follow? So let's continue. We spoke a little bit out of that. Let's go back to our subject. So we explained that number one, that we learn from here halacha, that a student not allowed to lean in the front of his rabbi. But because Rabbi Akiva was the rabbi of Bnei Brak, he can lean, because it was in his city that he's in charge. He can lean to the left next to his rabbi. That's halacha number two. And number one. Number two, we learn that Chazal explained to us that the sages study all night and praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu to try to bring Mashiach. I'm going to bring a different idea, that the Gaon Hida, Rabbi Haim Yosef David Adulai, he born in Jerusalem. He born around 293 years ago, 295 plus minus, and he wrote a book, Simchat HaRegel. And in his book, he said, take the gematria of Bnei Brak. I'll make it easier for you, 364. He said, take the gematria of the word Satan, 364. He says that from here you learn, why is it mentioned Bnei Brak? That the job of the sages was to try to destroy and to cancel the evil inclination from the world. And where they done it? Dafka in Bnei Brak. You know why there was in Bnei Brak? Because the gematria of that city is 364. The gematria of Satan is 364. They tried to cancel him. If they would cancel him, the Mashiach will come. You follow? Any question?
Rob?
Yes.
I've got another kasha here. I don't want to give away all my kashas because I want to save some for tomorrow night.
Everything.
Okay.
That's what we are. Yes.
It says that they were misaprim b'yitziat Mitzrayim kol oto halayla. And we know that there's a halacha that the afikoman you have to eat at midnight. So how could they be involved in Magid the whole night if they had to finish by midnight?
Oh, very good question. Very good question. Very, very good question. Very good question. Did you understand what Shimon asked? Shimon shot the missiles. So Shimon, the answer is quite simple. Chazal say that you should speak enough for the kids, but it's your job. You should sit and continue after the meal if you have the string and the energy to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why? Because by as much that we're praising him more, we're waking up and we remind them, the same like he redeemed our father, please, we're asking you to redeem us now. So the sages finish the Seder. They completely finish all the Seder, but they continue in talking to bring the Shekhinah down. And if the Shekhinah would come down, we'll be redeemed. Yes, any question? Or can we continue? Let's continue. If we look, the next thing, it says something very interesting. Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Now, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says something very interesting. Hare ani keben 70 shana. I'm like a man, like an old man of 70. what difference does it make to me if you're 70 or you're 60 or you're 50 or you're 40? What difference does it make to us when we read the Hagadah to understand that? Anyone have any idea? No one. Okay, so I'll help you. Be'ezrat Hashem. So Hazal explained to us that here something very important happened. What's happened here? Rabbi Elazar, first of all, I'm bringing you the Gemara. The Gemara is in Masechet Brachot.
Is that the same? Is that the same Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah? That was he was 18 years old. He was asked to be the leader.
That's it.
And he said he can't accept because he looks too young and people won't respect him. So Hashem made a nice and he turned 70. Okay.
That's it. So I'll explain that. The Gemara in Masechet Brachot, in page 27, folio 2, tell us the story. It was the chief rabbi at that time, the Nasi, was Rabban Gamliel. And what happened? Amongst the rabbi was an argument. And they decide that they're going to push aside Rabban Gamliel. He's not going to be anymore the president. The president means the chief rabbi, the Av Bedin. He's not going to be anymore. So that they looked for scholar rabbi. And who they put the eyes on? Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. But Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was only 18 years old. He was a young man. And it was embarrassment to take a young man to be the Nasi of the Jewish people, the president, the highest level that we have, the highest authority, the Paskin authority, by 18 years old. So what's happened? Hazal say that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah davened to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that night, before. And what's happened? HaKadosh Baruch Hu made for him a miracle, and he's grown a white hair. His hair turned to gray. His beard turned to gray. And that's the miracle. And that's what it says here. That when we read it, we have to understand what's happening here. Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Hare ani keben 70 shana. I'm like a man of 70. I'm not 70. I'm only like a man of 70. And you know why? Because they appointed me to become the highest authority, Paskin, rabbinical, while I was 18. What happened here? Rabotai, here there is another reincarnation. Shmuel, Rav Shmuel he died in the age of 52. Plus 18 years of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, giving us 70. That means that Shmuel Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was a reincarnation of who? Of Shmuel. Okay.
That's Shmuel Navi.
Who's asking? Yes?
Adrian. Are you talking about Shmuel and
Adrian,
Navi?
yes. Upon here?
Are you talking about Shmuel and Navi?
Shmuel, yeah.
Okay.
Shmuel and Navi, sorry. Shmuel and Navi, the prophet. Okay, sorry, not the Rebbe. Okay. I would like to skip a bit, and I would like to go, if you don't mind, with your permission, a little bit further. And we see here that we speak about Lavan, our grandfather. And many of the people say, what does Lavan have to do with the Hagadah? Lavan, just to give you a history, was our grandfather. How he was our grandfather? He was the father of, help me, Rachel and Leah. You remember that Yaakov Avinu married, nachon? So he was our grandfather. That's happened a lot before the Exodus of Egypt. So why are we reading about it? And look what it said. צא ולמד. מה ביקש לבן הערבי לעשות ליעקב אבינו. That means that we're asking, we're saying in Hagadah, we're saying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we're trying to wake up His mercy, His compassion on us. Remember what our grandfather, another grandfather like this, and we don't need any more chorus. Anyway, remember what our grandfather Lavan done to our father Yaakov. What does it say? Paro lo gazar ela al azcharim. That means the decree that Pharaoh put, it was only on the male. Velavan vikesh la'akor el hakol. That means that Lavan tried to conquer everything, to take everything out. What has he done? Why do we mention him? So we have to understand what's the connection of Lavan to Pesach. What is it? Why are we speaking about it? We read it in Hagadah, it's all signas. But do we understand why is Hazal suddenly decide to put Lavan in Hagadah? Anyone have any idea? What is the connection of Lavan to the Hagadah?
Was Lavan even Jewish?
Edwin, let me just give you a history. Was not Jewish until Judaism started, only after we received the Torah. How do we know that? Because when Bnei Israel was in Egypt, although that there was the children of Israel, that Yaakov Avinu, they've been called the Hebrewite. They've been called Bnei Israel. Jewish came after we received the Torah, and because after Yehuda, Ata Yuducha Achecha. That means that Yaakov blessed Yehuda, that everyone going to be named after him as a Jewish people. So until then,
I understand
until then was people that idol worshippers or people that believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You follow?
That was it. That's what I'm saying. Because Abraham Avinu was the first person who said idols are not the game. The game is HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Shamayim.
That's what we call Hebrewite. Why? Because Avraham Avinu, that was our father, he was against all the world that was idol worshiper.
Exactly.
Mishon Ever. That means he's on one side and everyone on the other side against him. You follow?
Nachon, exactly. So I'm saying Lavan was what, 3 generations or 2 generations later? Did he come from the side of Abraham, someone who believed in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or someone who still believed in idols?
He was an idol worshiper, yeah. How do we know? Because the Torah said, specifically it said, what did he say to the servant of Abraham Avinu, Eliezer? Niketi abayit, I clean the house. What does it mean, I clean the house? Obviously your house is clean. No, if you look at Rashi, and most of the commentary say that he took all the idol out of the house. You can sleep at my house, because my house is free of idols. Niketi abayit. So, Lavan was an idol worshiper. But still, what is that have to tell us about Pesach? What's the connection? So, Hazal explained in the commentaries, many of the Mefarshim stood on it, and they say like this. Yaakov Avinu was supposed to marry Rachel until Lavan swapped and given Leah first to Yaakov, and later on, after another 7 years, he took Rachel. Hazal say, if Lavan wouldn't do that, all the 12 tribes will come from who? From Rachel. Who gonna be the oldest? Yosef. None of the tribe gonna be jealous of Yosef because he's the older, he's the Bechor. And the Bechor is supposed to receive more than the others. So if his father would do for him that striped garment, no one will be jealous of him. Not only that, he wouldn't be sold. So the only reason that we going to Egypt, because Lavan swapped Leah with Rachel. That means by that he put Leah first and came Reuven, he changed all the sequence. And because of him, we gone to slavery to Egypt. Why? Because you know that the tribe sold Yosef to who? To the Ishmaelite, and then to the Midianite, and then to Egypt. And he arrived in Egypt until he became.
So Rob, we are paying the price. This whole sipur of the Hagadah coming out of Mitzrayim, going through the Mitzrayim, getting the Torah, was all because of Lavan.
Adrian, I couldn't hear you. Say again. The connection was bad.
I said the whole story in the Hagadah.
Repeat.
Can you hear me now, Rov?
Yeah, I can hear you now clearly.
I said, so the whole story of the Hagadah and the whole thing of going into Egypt, into slavery, is all because of Lavan?
For sure. For sure.
So why
because if Yosef was the Bechor, and his father given him the striped garment, no one will be jealous.
I understand that, but why? Well, why did
that he given?
Sorry, go on.
Say again.
No, so why did Bnei Israel for 210 years in Mitzrayim as slaves because of one idol worshipper? Because he went and how do you say it in English? He swapped Rachel for Leah.
That's it, yeah.
Now Bnei Israel had
but that
for 210 years.
But who caused it? He caused it. He caused it. Why did he cause it? If you want to go depths, I'll go with you. But depths, the Mefarshim explain that Lavan was a big witchcrafter, was a big sorcerer. Ask me, prove it to me. You remember Yaakov Avinu ran away from who? From Esav, Nachon? Where did he run? To the house of Lavan. Why did Esav didn't go after him?
Oh, good question.
Because Esav was frightened from Lavan. Because Esav knew that Lavan is a big sorcerer, big witchcrafter. With him, I'm not going to start.
But my question
let
is
him
why?
him handle my brother. He's going to do a good job with my brother.
No, but the question is, why did the whole of Bnei Israel have to suffer for 210 years in Mitzrayim because of an idol worshiper, a man who's an idol worshipper who went and changed his daughters around. He put Rachel second instead of first to Yaakov.
Because he was a sorcerer, he knew it. He knew that if I'm gonna swap, Rachel not gonna have the 12 tribes. Because if Rachel have the 12 tribes, it's finished. The tribe's gonna do the tikkun and the Mashiach will come. He didn't want the Mashiach to come. Do you understand? The same lack with Bilam and Balak. Bilam and Balak, not for nothing. Why suddenly Bilam decide that he doesn't want the Jewish people, Balak doesn't want the Jewish people? He hates them. Because he didn't want Bnei Israel to go to Eretz Israel in peace. So he gone to who? To Billy. Billy given him the advice that he should sin him with what? Immorality. That's the only way can I destroy the Jewish people. Because Hazal tell us, El Elohim shel ele soneh zimah. The God of that nation hate immorality. You understand? So from here you learn that the Rasha'im, the wicked people, all they want to do is to destroy the Jewish people. They don't have any idea what they do. They use all the evil forces to try to destroy us. Rabotai, should we do one more or is the time late? I mean, to me, it doesn't make a difference. I can do one more. So tomorrow when you sit and read the Hagadah, you can enjoy more. Let's do one more if it's okay with everyone. Is anyone that have any objection?
Please do it, Rolf.
Yes. Who's speaking?
Adrian said, please do
Yes,
it.
Adrian.
No, I'm saying,
Can we
please do
continue?
another one. Yeah, please.
Okay. It says something very interesting in Hagadah. Akadosh Baruch Hu say, when it's come to the plague of the firstborn, something very, very interesting. Listen what it says. ועברתי בארץ מצרים אני ולא מלאך. I don't understand. If you say that you're going to bring the plague, you, Akadosh Baruch Hu, why you have to tell me that Akadosh Baruch Hu, he's the one that doing the plagues of the firstborn? Obviously, if you say you, I know that it's Akadosh Baruch Hu. Why do you have to tell me that it's you and not the angel? Ani velo saraf, ani velo malach. Not me. I mean, Akadosh Baruch Hu say me, but not the angel. Me, but not the angel that shoot fire. Why is it so important? So Hazal explains something extraordinary. Listen to one of the commentary on it. It said that when Akadosh Baruch Hu brought the plague of the firstborn in the Egyptian, okay, maybe some of the Jewish people, it came their time to die, to pass away. So if it was like this, if it will be like this, Hazal saying, you know what can happen? Can happen that maybe the angel will take him also. But on a night of Pesach, the 15th of Nisan, something special happened. What happened? Hazal said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided he's going to bring the plague. You know why me? Because even if that Mr. X from the Jewish people reaches time to 120, it's now time to pass away, he's not going to down that night. But if I leave it, Has v'shalom, to the angel, he will die. And then the Egyptian will say, you see, it wasn't the hand of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It wasn't only us as a firstborn that been killed, the Egyptian will say. Say HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the plague of the firstborn, I'm going to do it myself. Me, myself, I'm going to go and do that plague by myself. So no other Jewish people can harm on that night. You follow what it say? That me and not an angel. Me and not Saraf. Saraf is an angel that shoots fire from his mouth.
But how would
Should we do another one, guys?
How would the Egyptians have known it was HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself who did it?
They didn't know. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell us. He didn't want the Egyptian to see that the Jewish people die on that night.
And
You
if the
understand?
if the angel
will do the plague, if the angel will do the plague, Adrian,
yeah,
he doesn't know. He cannot control life, human being. One of the keys, the main key of life, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has.
Rav,
So
surely,
HaKadosh Baruch Hu can decide who's going to live, who's going to die. Yes,
surely,
you wanted to ask?
Surely the question still stands. I mean, surely Hashem could still tell the angel, listen, whoever's supposed to die, you can't harm them. Why dafka him only? Surely Hashem has the power to control the angels.
Okay, very good. You remember we spoke the other night, we read the Gemara in Masechet Baba Kama. You remember that you forgot to record? What did we say there? Dever bala'ir, achnes raglecha, kanes raglecha. When the angel of death gets permission to kill, eno mafhin ben tzadikim lereshaim. When the angel of death gets the permission to kill, he have a permission to kill. He doesn't take notice if it's righteous or wicked. If he would get the permission to kill, He wouldn't take notice. Jewish, not Jewish, he'll kill the firstborn. Kadosh Baruch Hu said, no, me. But there is a higher level into it. Here, Kadosh Baruch Hu show that he's in control of the entire world. He knows who's the firstborn. Many people say, when they try to work out how many people there is in a country, they tell you we're estimating X amount. Kadosh Baruch Hu tell you, I know who's the firstborn. I know exactly who's the firstborn amongst the Egyptians. Who can say that? Which country can tell you that that person is a firstborn, that person is a secondborn? No one. Here HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that he's in charge about the human life. And he knows exactly who's firstborn, who's not a firstborn, on a higher level. Rabotai, you want to continue or you want to say Ganug? It's up to you.
Hashem knows everything, Rabbi Levy. He knows your whole life story from the beginning till the end. It's all like worked out. Yeah, thanks, Rabbi. It's all worked out, Rabbi.
Sorry?
It's all worked out, your life story from. Okay, the link, yes. Yeah, okay.
Okay. I don't understand, but okay. Should we continue?
Just, is there a time limit?
You want to continue?
Rob, is there a time limit? I don't mind continue, but is there a time limit to search?
No. I don't have time limit on my Zoom because we long over 40 minutes. So I don't have to worry because I have unlimited time.
No,
I have unlimited time.
I'm asking you, is there a specific time you need to search for the chametz? Because I haven't done it yet.
Yes. You can search all night. You can search all night tonight. You should, the appropriate time for the bdikat hametz should be done 20 minutes after sunset. Okay? But if you couldn't, you have all night to do bdikat hametz. If you want any question, Rabotai, to ask regarding tonight, regarding tomorrow, or regarding Pesach, any question, I don't mind. I'm open also to that. I just wanted to share with you some idea about the insight of the Hagadah. When tomorrow night, when you sit together and you read the beautiful Hagadah, we can understand that beautiful situation. So I have no problem. Whatever you guys want. Okay, we'll continue one more with the Hagadah. If you look later on, there is a mahloket amongst the sages. Rabbi Yossi Haglili and Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Akiva. What was the question? They have an argument how many plagues the Egyptian been punished on a sea, when they drown on the sea. So one of the sages suggests that some of the plagues that they received, if you look carefully, is 50. Others say, no, there is 200. Others say 250. I mean, what's the argument here? It was a plague or it wasn't a plague? How many was? It have to be. Why is each one, and that's the question, each one of our sages try to erase the number of plagues that the Egyptian receive on a sea of weeds when they drown? Do you understand the question, Rabotai? The question is how many plagues the Egyptian received when they drowned?
Sorry, Rabbi Levy, how do they work out your 50 plagues there? Where they come with 50 or?
Oh, where do they come with numbers like this? That's what you're asking, am I right, Stevie?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look carefully, when you read Shirat Hayam, what did you say there in Shirat Hayam? That some of them drown like a straw, am I right?
Yes, yes.
Some of them drown like a stone.
Right.
צללו כעופרת. Some of them drown like a copper. Some
Okay.
of them drown like a straw. So it was all different kind of punishment there.
That's fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you understand me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. It's about the plagues.
Okay. So Hazal, the Mefarshim, explains something extraordinary. Look what the Hazal explain. Hazal say, if you look, HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised us in Parashat Beshalach, in Sefer Shmot, in Parashat Beshalach, in chapter 15, verse 26. כל המחלה אשר שמתי במצרים לא אשים עליך. HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised the Jewish people, whatever plague I brought on the Egyptian, you're not going to suffer from it. So came the sages and tried to argument and try to uplift the amount of plague that later on the Jewish people will never suffer from it. So that's the idea. When we see the argument among the sages, how many plagues they received on the sea, it's to save us, not to receive the plague that the Egyptian received in Egypt. You follow? That was the argument amongst the sages. And that's why each one of them uplift the amount of plague that there is less chance that we'll suffer from it. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised, those plagues that are brought on the Egyptian, you're not going to suffer from it. Okay, Rabotai, any more? You want to do one more? And with that, we're going to end. I know that I'm taking now almost an hour and a half.
Rav, I have a question.
Yes, who's that? Yes,
Mark.
Who's that?
Mark,
okay,
Mark.
I'm going to you. Yes, I'm going to you. I want to look at you. Yes, Mark.
The firstborn that were killed, was it only men or was it also women who were firstborn?
Okay. So Mark asked, is the firstborn is a male or a female? Correct me if I'm right, Mark?
Both.
That's your question.
Yep.
Okay. So what does it say? Ve'arakti kol bechor be'eretz Mitzrayim. From the word bechor, if you focus on the word bechor, it's a male. Only a male. And that's why tomorrow morning, the fast is for the firstborn of male and not female. If you have a child that he was the firstborn, you fast. But if your firstborn is a daughter, you don't have to fast. You follow? So the firstborn that we're talking is a male. Now ask, why dafka a male? Ask me why dafka a male. You understand the question? Why dafka male? Why not female? Because what was the punishment of Pharaoh? What did Pharaoh decree was? Pharaoh said, one second, I'll give time. Pharaoh promised, Pharaoh put a decree that every male that will born, what's going to happen to him? You should throw him to the Nile. A male. You know why a male? Because his sorceress told him that will be a male that's going to redeem the Jewish people. Why did he put a dafka on the Jewish people? Because his sorceress told him it will be from the Israelite. And that's why he put the decree. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, you wanted to kill my own children, the male? I'll kill the firstborn of all the Egyptians. And you know why dafka firstborn? Because Pharaoh was the firstborn. You understand?
Yep.
So now you're going to ask me, wait. You said that Pharaoh was a firstborn. Why he didn't die on a plague on the firstborn? Why he managed to continue and chase us to the Sea of Weeds? And that was on the 7th of Pesach when they drowned. Why did he stay alive? Exactly. Here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu shows miracle. He wanted to show Pharaoh, by that I'm not going to kill you, I want to see if you're going to change your heart. If you're going to change your heart, you'll stay alive. I know that you're firstborn. But because you harden and you hate the Jewish people so much, I will drown you. I will punish you with a harder punishment. Where? I'll drown you on the sea. The same like you drown my children, I will drown you on the sea. Measure for measure. I've given you a chance. You don't want to keep it. I will pay you a different way. What you done? You drowned the Jewish people where? On the Nile. I will drown you in a sea of weeds. You follow?
Yep.
Okay, Marky? Does it answer
Thank
your
you,
question?
Rav. Thank you, Rav.
Okay, guys. Any other question? You'll excuse me. I need to drink something. I'm talking for 1.5 hours.
As long
My
as it's
throat
whiskey, Rav.
My throat was too dry. Any question about maybe Pesach? You want to ask certain question? Because
Rav,
during the Hol HaMoed, I will do a different shi'ur to prepare us for Shvi'i of Pesach. What happened on the 7 days of Pesach? That means the splitting of the sea. That's why I'm not speaking about it today. If you take notice, I'm not going further on. Yes.
Rav, what I want to just ask you, Shala, if I may, what is your opinion on listening to the Siyum via Zoom?
Okay, so it was a question
Because I read what you sent from the rabbis in Israel.
Yeah. But today it was a new paskin that I heard. Listen to that.
Okay.
A new paskin from the rabbinical rabbi in Israel. I'm trying to keep, with the rabbinical in Israel high authority. I'm trying to get they paskin, not only here in South Africa, because I always look at the higher authority in Israel. What does the chief rabbi of Israel say? So le'alacha bim paskin, and I got it today, and I have it. It's if people can't see it via Zoom, listen to me carefully, Sean, they can even yotzei dehava if they listen to it through the phone, as long as it's live. That means if they listen to the siyum through a phone, they don't have to fast.
Okay.
Why? Ask me why. Why? Because number one, we can't be in tzibur, because there is a decree at the moment. HaKadosh Baruch Hu cross, he doesn't want us to be together. Maybe it's to teach us to live in unity, like I spoke yesterday. Because one of the most important things that he took us from shul, he took us from being in a minyan. It's maybe we should join and be in unity, part of the change, that the change must never break. And it doesn't make a difference who we are. You Sfaradi, you Ashkenazi, you a Litvak, you whatever you want to be. It's gurnished. It doesn't make a difference if I'm a Yeker or if I'm a Sfaradi or if I'm a Ashkenazi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to live together. Maybe that's why he put us out of shul. I'm not a prophet. I'm just suggesting idea for us to think, something to take it in mind. So tomorrow, it's the fast of the firstborn. It's just a custom. It's not one of the biggest fasts. It's nowhere that it said that you have to fast. It's a rabbinical decree. It's not even a rabbinical decree. It's from Sofrim. So what do we learn from here? That because it's such an easy fast, you can be Yotzei Dehava if you listen via Zoom, or if you listen even via a phone that you can't see, as long as it's alive. You follow, Sean?
Rob, what does the firstborn have to listen to? Be it on Zoom or a phone, what do they have to listen to?
That they have to listen to the siyum. What is a siyum? That you're finishing the shas. Someone have to finish the shas. So the question becomes, this year, because not many people can do siyum shas, what should we do? So there is a leniency to finish even a shas mishnayot, not only a Gemara. Because to finish a Gemara, it's not so simple. Not everyone can say, I finished Masechet X, Y, Z. It's not so simple. Not everyone can do it. You'll ask those people that study Daf Yomi. It's not a simple thing. You know, I'm trying now to do a siyum on Masechet Sukkah. Our friend Shimon know, because he's studying Masechet Sukkah himself. Remember, Shimon, we spoke about it. And it's take a long time. When you learn the Masechet, even if you just read it as a Daf Yomi, it's take a long time. But I'm trying to learn it with the depths, all the Hava Amina and everything, and the Mahlukot. I'm trying. So I'm trying to do my own siyum on that. And it's really not easy to learn a Gemara just like this and to do a siyum. It's quite a heavy thing. Any other question regarding? Yes?
Kol hakavod.
I'm trying. I didn't finish. Any other question, Rabota, regarding Pesach? You have any question, halachically question?
What's the latest time to eat chumetz, Rabbi Levy?
Sorry, say again.
The latest time to eat chumetz. The latest time to eat chumetz.
Very good. The latest time to eat tomorrow hametz, it's 9:45. 9:45 in the morning, okay?
Okay.
Shah Hamish. Yes.
And then the burning of the chumetz.
Any other question?
And then the burning of the chumetz, Rabbi Levy?
The burning of the hametz, you have another 15, 20 minutes after that to collect the hametz and to burn it. But the most important tomorrow, Rabotai, that it's not just the burning of the hametz. You have to do the bi'ur hametz. You understand? That you're canceling all the hametz. It's not just to burn it. Part of the burning, it's the bi'ur hametz. That means that you get rid of all your hametz. And whatever Hazal saying there, if you look at the book, Hazal explained that we need to get rid of it. There's a special thing that you say, כל חמירה ודעמיעה דעה ברשותה, דחזיתה ודלא חזיתה, להווה דעפרה כהרעה כישראל. Don't forget to say that. That's again in Aramaic. Why in Aramaic? Because the angel doesn't understand Aramaic. And the hametz represent the evil inclination. So we say it in Aramaic that he wouldn't take revenge on us, that we're trying to burn him. You understand? And that's what we explained the other day. Any other question? Yes?
Yeah, Rav, there's a halacha that one shouldn't eat matzah Erev Pesach, like tomorrow.
Okay, very good. Very good question.
Yeah.
So there is a shala amongst the poskim, and that shala brought, by the way, in the Gemara Masechet Pesachim also. Hazal say that from Sha'a Asirit, we're not allowed to eat no hametz, and we're not allowed to eat also what? Matzah. What should we eat? Nachon, that Shimon, if I'm not mistaken, is that your question? Is that where you're referring to? Or
Yeah, okay. That's the question.
So, very good. So Hazal say in Gemara Masechet Pesachim, if that's the question that you're asking, what should we do? So Hazal tell us, okay, first of all, let me take the question, and I'm going to stretch it abroad, and then I'll come back. Hazal say, what should we eat? I'm telling you now the Gemara in Masechet Pesachim. So Hazal answer, Ma'id achle Rabbanan in Erev Pesach. What did the sages eat Erev Pesach? I don't understand. Sean, no problem. Shirkoah, I received your message. What should we eat? So Hazal say like this, rice. They used to eat rice. Now become the question. Our brothers, the Ashkenazim, have a humrah. Not that the rice is hametz, the rice is kitniot. So we as Sfaradim can eat rice. We can eat matzah shruya. Matzah shruya. What is matzah shruya? It's a kemach that's been mixed with wine, with grapefruit, with anything except water. You understand? But there's others that can't eat it. They can't eat matzah shruya Erev Pesach. So what should we do? So I always tell my family, we allowed to eat rice. That's easy. But let's say that we can't. So one day for lunch, make a potatoes. Make a roast potatoes, you know? Cook in the oven, you know? So you'll eat for lunch, vegetables. It's nish gefelach. You want to eat fish. You can eat fish. Nothing wrong with eating fish. So there is many other things to eat.
Nothing wrong with the tuna salad.
Sorry, who's speaking? I can't hear.
Me, I said nothing wrong with the tuna salad.
Gavin, yes. Nothing wrong with tuna salad. Exactly. You can eat tuna salad. You can have eggs. You can have potatoes. There's so many things to eat. But matzah we're not allowed to eat. Now ask why matzah I'm not allowed to eat. You're telling me hametz I'm not allowed to eat. Okay, I understand. You follow, Shimi?
Yeah, but the answer for that is that one should
why
be.
Matzah not?
Because one should be hungry for the.
Not?
Because one should be hungry for the seder. One should have a teavon for the matzah, for the seder.
That's it. That you should have the appetite, not to be hungry, to have the appetite. There's a big difference here. To have the appetite to eat the matzah. When you eat the matzah, you should eat it with appetite.
So, Rabbi Levy, at the seder now,
it's not because it's not allowed. It's to eat a dafka with appetite. You follow? Shukra, Shimon.
Chazaka Baruch.
Yes,
I've got to go, Rolf.
Question, Rabotai. Gavin, any questions? Stevie?
Yeah, I said the seder.
Anyone?
How much
any question?
Sorry, how much matzah should one eat in the cups of wine? How much is the minimum one should have, Rabbi? At the Siddur?
Okay. So lechatchila you should have 4 kazaitot. 4. At the beginning you should have 2. Okay. Then you should have later on in the Seuda and later on in the Afikoman. Kazait. 4 kazaitot. But whoever can't, B'di'avad can go, B'di'avad. I'm telling you what Shulchan Aruch say. B'di'avad, not lechatchila. If he eat 3 and he's suffering from eating matzah, he can go Yotzei Yedei Chova with 3. 3 kazaitot. Kazait, Rabotai, kazait,
square.
It's 27 grams. Okay, Rabotai, I hope that you all enjoy it. I would like to take this opportunity to wish each one of you individually Hag Kasher v'Sameach, and may please God, we all gonna be redeemed this Pesach, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mera be'amenu amen ken yeh ratzon. Have a good evening.
You too, Rav. All the best. Have a good
All the best. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye, Rav.